Welcome back to Reps and Redemption. If you're here, I'm going to make the assumption that you are all in to prioritize your health and fitness plus your faith in the Lord. In today's episode, I'm going to review some things I have learned about sleep and why it is crucial for peak athletic performance and muscle growth. I want to take a quick look at how to get better sleep and why now I wear a Whoop and what it is, plus share my own summer schedule of family life with you, and maybe it can help you create your own.
Hey there, I'm Ashley, mom of four and creator of Reps and Redemption. Join me as I share my passion for health education, explore all things fitness and nutrition, plus share a little faith-filled homemaking along the way. If you're a mom ready to build strength and live a life of epic redemption, this podcast is for you. Let's get after it.
I can't believe I'm talking about the importance of sleep. Until this past year, maybe a little bit before that, this was the very last thing on my priority list. But I am learning, and I have learned that it is crucial for peak performance in muscle building. Now, I want to put an aside here in my notes because I don't think I considered this with the performance and the muscle growth that I desire for myself. I also want to have energy and not feel sluggish throughout the day. So I'm going to share what I've learned about sleep recently, and I know it's something probably we've all considered, but this will help us learn how we can train longer, heavier, and add increased intensity. Without this specific aspect of recovery, we can't add those things in. So here are a few reasons. I'm just going to go ahead and dive into this episode. Here are a few reasons sleep is important for muscle growth and peak performance. So number one, muscle repair and growth. So during sleep, our bodies produce growth hormones that aid in muscle repair and growth. This is especially true during SWS, which is slow wave sleep stage, which is physically restorative sleep. Number two, improved performance. And I don't know about you, but I want to, like I said a few moments ago, I want to lift heavier, be stronger, get faster. This is all personal fitness goals of my own, and I'm sure you have yours of your own, and they're going to be different than mine, but it will help improve our performance. There's research that shows that athletes who get more sleep have improved speed, shooting accuracy, and reaction times. For example, there was a study with the collegiate basketball players that indicated that extra sleep improved these metrics, and it suggested that optimal sleep is beneficial for peak performance. This is wild to me because like I said just a moment ago again, I've just pushed sleep off to the very last thing that, I want to work on this show. I want to get up early. I want to train. I have, nighttime wakings, and I'm just like, well, I'll worry about it later. I'm not gonna fret about not getting enough sleep now. It's just not going to happen. There's not enough time in the day. But my third point, it prevents injuries. So chronic sleep deprivation has been linked to a higher risk of sports-related injuries. So getting enough sleep every night helps us avoid this. I say that point because now with myself training jujitsu in particular, this is a contact sport and this is a contact fitness regimen, if you will. And I do not want to get hurt. I really don't. There's a saying, tap early, tap often. I will get out of that business. And also the reason is I don't want to break my arm. I don't want I don't want to. I mean, I'd rather, I was talking about this with one of our brown belt instructors last night. Being choked in a triangle is different. You might, you could pass out for 30 seconds, but then you're fine. You don't want to break a bone. This is not me saying I want to pass out or anything like that, but you got to know, you have to know your limits. You have to know, and listen, if you're a mom, you most likely are. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say this, but who's going to take your place? If you are not getting enough sleep and you're not helping yourself prevent injury, and also sleeping helps our reaction time. So if I'm, in a roll, and even a flow roll or something like that in jiu-jitsu, and my reaction time is slower because of my lack of sleep, I'm not going to prevent injury. It's almost inevitable, and I need to focus on this. So this is one of the reasons I'm talking about it. But number 4, cognitive functioning. So sleep deprivation can lead to, I just said this a moment ago, slower reaction times and slower processing of complicated ideas. It impacts our performance, and adequate sleep ensures our brain functions at its best, which allows us to make quick decisions and create strategies during workouts, or in my case, maybe workouts and jujitsu. It is becoming more of a strategy experience for me. Now I'm approaching almost a year of training, and I am learning that I have to understand or have some sort of an idea of if I'm being attacked in some way, or whether it's my arm, my throat, my body, whatever it is, how my brain needs to process things quickly, very quickly. How do I get out of this? How can I avoid this? How can I get to their back? How can I? And it's very quick, and I have to really say and hit home here with, I believe that this sport and this choice of physical activity has led me to really finally accept the importance of sleep. So, kudos to jujitsu. Here we go. Number 5, recovery. So I wear Whoop. I'll explain that in a minute. But Whoop's recovery score will indicate how ready my body is to perform, and it is heavily, heavily influenced by my sleep. And the better you sleep and the better I sleep, the better our recovery score, in quotes, whether you have a Whoop or not, and readiness is to take on strain. So in case you don't know what a Whoop is, I just discovered it over these last few months, and my husband and I decided to give it a go. It monitors our sleep, strain, recovery, and our health with more, I believe what their claim is, it's more accurate and it's advanced. It really helps people who want to uplevel their athleticism. It also tracks your calories burned. So it's a wearable tracker, and it helps improve your health over time. So it is, I have an app for the device on my phone, and it will allow me to log my activities. It'll tell me my strain during activities. It's very interesting to see. And then also, like if I hit sleep, it'll tell me, you got enough sleep to get by, but here's your sleep debt. Try not to push it too hard today because you need to recover. Like it really dives into some things that I have wanted to know, and it's a really cool fitness tracker, and there's a coaching app inside of the app. It's really interesting, and it uses psychological data to simultaneously improve my training. So in case you're interested in that, so far I've only been wearing it for maybe 4 weeks. So far I really like it. The only thing I don't like about it is most of the time I wear it on my wrist, unless I am training jiu-jitsu, then I'll wear it on my armband underneath my gi or underneath my rash guard. And the only thing I'm not super crazy about is that there's no time on it. Like it's just a small tracker you wear, and then everything is transferred into the Whoop app. It's very cool, but the only thing I don't like is that there is no time. I keep looking at my wrist to check the time, and then I'm like, oh, I can't check the time. So that's my only because I'm not going to wear this and my Apple Watch. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with my Apple Watch now, but I'm not going to wear both. So and this one you're supposed to wear, so it gathers your specific insights, over a very long span of time. And I will say, I am fairly crunchy, if you know the term. I love more functional medicine, more holistic things, just from the show and having certain guests on here. And so I know that wearing a device is not like the crunchiest thing you can do. But I think you have to also decide what is important to you and how you can continue in your health and fitness journey, what things you're willing to let go because of that, And then also which ones you're like, well, I really want to know a lot of these things that the Whoop tells me, so I'm going to wear it and I'm going to see how it goes over the next few months. And I will probably do a more deeper review, but that is kind of the Whoop in a nutshell, but it helps me in particular optimize my sleep, and it will help also. I think in the long run it has already helped me move in the direction of better sleep. So how can we get better sleep as busy moms, stay-at-home moms? We homeschool, we're doing a lot of things. I It's crazy because and if you work outside the house too, I can't really speak on that because I've told a friend recently. She asked me my workout schedule. I have not worked outside of my home in 11 years now. I thought it was 10. It's 11. So I don't know what that would be like. I can't imagine adding that into what I already do because I already feel really busy. So we want to aim to maintain a consistent sleep schedule. So what that is, and the Whoop will tell me this, like almost every night. Like aim to go to bed around the same night every night. Aim to wake up at the same time every morning. And this way your body gets ready over time to prepare yourself for that time of rest and that time of sleep. And I think it's interesting because we do that with our kids, right? But then as we get older and we enter adulthood and even when we're adolescents and then adulthood, like we stay up later and we're like, well, let's do this or let's do that. But it's important to be consistent, like 9, 10 p.m. every night or 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m. every night. Like that should be my goal. That way my body can get prepared to shut down and relax for and get the sleep I need, and especially that restorative sleep. So that's one way we can get better sleep. Another way to get better sleep, this is I need to look in the mirror when I say this, minimizing screen time before bed. That is self-explanatory. That is extremely challenging for me because I tend to work a little bit before bed on my computer or on my phone. And another thing that I like to do now is watch jujitsu videos on my phone in bed if it's not like a working night, and I need to I need to quit this. So that, if you're feeling guilty about that, just join the club and maybe we can minimize our screen time before bed together. Another tip to get better sleep is practicing relaxation techniques like breath work or prayer is always great. I know when I lay in bed and I don't use my phone and I have a glass of water and I'm just sitting up and I'm taking some deep breaths and just going to the Lord for even just a few moments, it does really take so much stress from the day, strain, anxiety. Not that I live in that place, but if you're busy and you're trying to do all the things and be there for all your people, it is a lot. And taking those few moments, and I know when I do that, I sleep a lot better. So maybe that's where I need to go next. So also, wearing the Whoop has helped me track and manage my sleep debt effectively. So what that means is they want you to get a certain amount of restorative sleep and keep your sleep debt under 25 minutes. It'll also tell you to consider napping or extending your sleep if your sleep debt is accumulating. Now, if you have a young baby who's still waking up for a nighttime feed, it'll also ask you this question the next day. Did you wake up for a nighttime feed? How many times? And it takes that into consideration, and you'll be kind of shocked to see how much restorative sleep and sleep you can get even if you are waking up even a couple times a night, because what it really wants you to do is get in that certain stage of recovery sleep. And we spend a lot in a lighter sleep. And I'm going to go over the sleep stages in another episode. I'd love to have a sleep expert on the show, so that is who I'm on the hunt for currently. But I think what's really crazy is there was one night, for example, where I was only in bed for 7 hours and my restorative sleep, I can't remember, and my light wake sleep, everything was very similar, except my deep sleep was longer, and it said I was almost fully recovered. So it's interesting, like you could spend 10 hours in bed and not get that same amount. So it's crazy, and I think that's where consistency comes into play, of just being consistent so you can hit that certain amount of deep sleep that you really need to restore your body and hit athletic peak performance and really do great in your training and your physical fitness. So, really quick, I want to wrap up the show with how to find your summer schedule and what to focus on to do that. If you haven't noticed, I missed posting a podcast episode last week. I wanted to share this information last week, but it's summer. And I don't know why I'm blaming summer because we homeschool all year round. Then again, my daughter's only 7, so I've only been in this homeschool game for about 2 years now, and it's very flexible. But I do know that with summer, there's just a lot of things happening. We travel, we visit family in Florida, we want to start taking family vacations with just our immediate family, and we just did our very first one with like no other family members, just me, my husband, and our kids, and we've never done that. We've always had grandparents with us, or aunts and uncles. It's and that's phenomenal. But we want to start doing like one or two family trips, even if it's just to the lake or an hour away, and we want to start doing that. And then also there's some things I want to start focusing on for Reps and Redemption. I am creating a few things that I've been meaning to create to get them to you for complete free, just a couple workouts, meal plans. There was one other, a pregnancy preparation guide. There's just so many things I've been wanting to make, and honestly, like I have had a very hard time really focusing on what to create and then also finding the time to do it, especially since I started training jujitsu. So you have to figure out, and I hope this helps you find your summer schedule, but you have to figure out what priorities are important to you, what can you take off your list of things to do, and what works for you. And for me, just with summer and homeschooling all year round and some travel that we have coming up, some guests I have on the show, things I want to create, I am going to go to a summer schedule of bi-weekly posting the show. That way it is quality just over the summer, and then maybe back in the fall I will get back onto a weekly schedule. And I hope and pray this gives me time to also, there's some faith-filled episodes I've been wanting to record and get out. There's one on patience that I'd love to do next. And I just haven't had time to think and dive in and really do the work with what I want to do here. And this is just me being honest because my health and fitness, my faith, and my family are my top priorities. And this show is very close in the top 4, things that I want to do. But I also know that slowing down and really finding a better flow of how to fit the things in that I love might be good for right now, and I hope you understand. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at repsandredemption@gmail.com. If you have any pitches for the show or freebies you would love me to create, if you have an idea, if there's been something you've wanted, there's one thing that I've been working on that is just not done yet. It's kind of like a weekly planner. I'm more of a weekly planner because I do stay home with my kids. So our days look very similar. I don't need a day planner, if you will. I need just a glance at the week. What are my workouts? Who's training when? Because, my whole family, we train jujitsu now. We all do. Who's going to what classes? Who can do the 35, 45-minute bedtime for the kids so I can go train? So we're kind of going into that direction. And then with the summer schedule, I know I had an episode recently about really getting a good morning routine. And I just wanted to update you on that. Has been just a roller coaster. It's been good, and I've been up before the kids. And then there's nights where, I'm transitioning. This isn't a side note. My 2-year-old, 2.5-year-old into my 7-year-old's bedroom. They're going to be room sharing. So she's been waking up 4 times a night. So not only is my baby waking up, my 2.5-year-old is waking up. And I'm like, okay, I got to get this bull by the horns here and really make this transition happen so I can move my son out of our room into the crib room that my 2.5-year-old is in. It's just great. Can you relate? So a summer schedule, what works for you? What priorities are important to you? And how can you prioritize your own personal health and fitness, the health and fitness of your family, and also your walk with the Lord and your faith in God. I hope this episode has encouraged you to get some better sleep. I hope it's also inspired you to maybe try a jiu-jitsu class. Be brave, be bold, mama. You can do it. And then also really consider, what do you need this summer that can really take some stress off of you and really just get you into a rhythm of working on yourself, your own physical health, and the things that you're passionate about. And I pray that you have a wonderful weekend, and until next time.
If this episode inspired you, will you share with a friend? Remember, this podcast offers health education tips and holistic insights. Please consult healthcare professionals for personalized advice. Until next time, Mama, be bold and live well.